the meat.
Welcome back from the break. This is Mostly Superheroes. Back here in the studio in the basement in St. Louis, Missouri with Scotty Scoop, the Giggler, and Danny Patreon in the 4-seat. So excited to be talking with my friends about some stuff. We just talked about Top Gun, and boy, that was fun. Didn't realize how much fun I had during that movie until recapping it with you guys, and I want to do the same thing right now in a whole different universe from a galaxy. Well, I messed it up already. Long time ago in a
long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Dan,
there you go.
You just proved it.
For the save. Thank God we called this guy.
This is why we called him. Dan, apparently Star Wars is your stuff. Tell us about your relationship with Star Wars real quick.
Yeah. Been a massive Star Wars fan for a long time. I watch the original trilogy every year at least once. And then whenever the movies are coming out, I tend to watch them all going up to the most recent one. It's been, being a Star Wars fan is interesting over the course of the years. It's hard when the best thing ever made about the property you love the most was the first thing ever made. So the prequels, while I think have merit and I enjoyed them at the time because I was at the right age when it came out, they don't always hold up. I think the story and what George Lucas was trying to tell was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think George Lucas struggles with writing dialogue, and thus you have amazing actors and actresses like Natalie Portman that just sounds bizarre by, Revenge of the Sith and, You're Breaking My Heart, Annie, and it's just weird. But then Disney bought it and it was like, okay, this is exciting. This is like the new age of Star Wars, and they were high on all the Marvel stuff. And I was so excited. They signed J.J. Abrams. They signed all these, actors and actresses. And I'm like, wow, this is going to be great. And it's been a mixed bag, and I think they would admit it. And, now we don't even really know what the next feature film is actually going to be. They've announced so many that haven't come out. And so for me, like, I've read the books, I've played the video games, I've read the comics. I know I have all this knowledge of expanded universe stuff that is essentially like worthless now because it's all just a quote legend.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter because it was fun at the time. And that's what Star Wars is to me. It's a fun in the moment experience. That's why I like the movies, even if I have a lot of qualms about the new stuff. I always have a good time sitting down, watching a space odyssey, watching spaceship fights and lightsaber battles and, usually some sort of growth of the characters. And so, it's been an up and down moment with the Disney films. My favorite one of the new, since Disney has bought them, is actually Solo. A lot of people might not agree. I'm not saying it's the best one. Rogue One's probably the best one they've made. However, Solo's the most fun to me.
Yeah.
And it looks like everybody in that movie is having fun. And that movie is a situation like what I think of Justice League that they just did with Zack Snyder, that I would be interested to see the original cut of that movie. Cause I think, didn't Ron Howard redo Justice League also? Cause that's who.
No, that was
somebody else.
Joss
Whedon.
Whedon.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So Ron Howard had to come in and like refix Solo, and I would be really curious to see what the original creators, which I believe was the guys that did the Lego movie, had put together, because you can tell there's like a shift in tone in that. But it was just fun to me. Donald Glover, the guy who played Han, like they were all spot on for me.
Perfect. Yeah, I think they're all great.
And then, God, the 7, 8, and 9, like 7's probably the best. Then it's a toss up in 8 and 9 because they just didn't know where they were going.
Yeah.
And that has J.J. Abrams written all over it. I like J.J. Abrams, but I think he can tell a great single story when he tries to tell out a long narrative. Just like in Lost, I don't know if he knew where he was going with it. And I just think you need somebody helming the ship like you have over at Marvel to give us a more consistent experience. I'm excited with what they've done in the TV shows, at least from that perspective, with Dave Filoni and with
Jon Favreau.
Yeah, Jon Favreau.
Mm-hmm.
I got to see the release. So I went to Star Wars Celebration right before Episode 9 came out. So I actually got to see.
Where's that?
That was in Chicago that year.
Okay.
It moves around. I think next year it's actually going to be like over in Europe. But I'll probably go again at some point. It's one of those things that you don't need to go every year personally, but it's fun to go every now and then. And going before episode 9, I got to see the trailer live in this big auditorium. I got to see the Mandalorian trailer before they released it.
Damn.
Which was really cool. And then I got to see all those people live, like right up on stage. And the trick for that convention was they had a little beer stand right where all the celebrities would walk through before they get up on stage. So my cousin and I went together and we stood at that beer stand, and I got to meet like all the actors because everybody else is by the stage, but it's like if you stand back here where they're walking in and have a beer, you actually get to see them. So
and you're holding the beer, super approachable. You know?
Yeah, they're like these guys are having a good time here.
Man,
so
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so love Star Wars. Excited to talk about it today. I think you guys do a great job talking about it. From like this is the other thing, we talked about like why I like listening to you guys. Like you guys, I don't think are massive Star Wars fans. So when you talk about it, that gives me the like, okay, what does everybody else think? Like this is important to me, but it's just fun to hear different perspectives. So
no, you did a great job. It's a fair share, and you're so right. Like it's something about the show where I know I want to talk about something. I know that I'm not the biggest super fan of that thing. It's not like I'm just bringing you guys all the stuff that I'm a huge fan of. It's like this is a story I want to talk about, and it's so important to bring fans in here that are excited about the areas, and like having Scotty and Andy here that you can tell the stuff that they love. And now we have you here. I can see your energy. I mean, you went to Star Wars Celebration Day. I love it. Let's get into it for today because you kind of helped us already with our Star Wars recap. I mean, that first movie, coming out from George Lucas, what was it,
78?
Yep.
78 with the first Star Wars film, episode 4, and here we go. 30 years later, the prequels come out, and we get this character that you met so long ago called Obi-Wan Kenobi, and here we are in 2022. Ewan McGregor is back. The series is on Disney Plus. We are 3 episodes down. We have 3 to go. Spoiler alert right now because we're going to talk about it. The fact that this is a TV show isn't so insane to me because Ewan McGregor is probably my favorite Star Wars character, Obi-Wan Kenobi, at least his version. Not even just the version of Obi-Wan I saw in A New Hope. This version, I'm a big fan of the prequels. I actually enjoy those movies because of exactly what you said you love about Star Wars. I want to be in a new world that's just different, active, and seeing them go through, like, these are the different parts of the government, and this is how, like, these things are decisioned. I was like, this shit's awesome. So I had a good time, and we did rewatch these coming into this film, or into this series, I should say. But, man, let's talk to you, Scotty Scoop. What was it like? This is a show that was also announced so long ago. Who's Obi-Wan Kenobi to you, Star Wars to you? I don't know if we've ever really got into the franchise with you too much, because this might be our first Star Wars centric episode that we've had you on as one of the co-hosts, so I want to hear about it.
Kind of just like Dan, I was introduced on the original trilogy, and Obi-Wan Kenobi was not really a huge part of that entire trilogy. And I think I was when did episode 1 come out? Was that 99?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I was 19 years old, and man, I know the prequels get a lot of hate, but I'm one of the people who's just like, I love it.
This is great.
It's great. It's more Star Wars. We don't have a lot of Star Wars.
Yep.
Unless you're reading comic books or old novels that are now non-canon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You didn't get Star Wars stuff. And when they came back out, I was like, man, this is great. And, Ewan McGregor, probably my favorite character from that original or the prequel trilogy. So I was really excited to see this. I'm like, man, they're bringing him back. And I like that a lot of this stuff that they're releasing now is gap filler stuff. Filling in
big areas,
huge gaps of time that we got in between movies.
Yep.
And everything else. And yeah, I was really amped for this to come out. I watched the first episode at the time that it dropped, I think like 11 p.m.
Oh, nice.
Like as soon as they were like,
which was like
hey,
a surprise. It was like, hello.
Yeah.
They were like, hey, we're dropping
They
it.
bumped it
and
up.
I was like, boom.
Hell yeah. Well, you're going to hear from all of us during this one. I like that we're talking about the lead into this and the filling in of the areas of time that we're curious about from a Star Wars standpoint, getting into the story. And actually, before we even do that, do a little recap of you get a nice recap of the prequels, but we're going to do it a little bit on this show too, just so we can nerd out a little bit about the folks that made this series. It's directed by Deborah Chao. Again, this is on Disney Plus, but it is, according to IMDb, produced by Lucasfilm. Still very much involved inside the house of Disney. Writers John Harold, George Lucas, Hassan Amini, Stuart Beatty. Producers Catterley Frauenfelder, Thomas Hayslip. Composed by John Williams, of course, and Natalie Holt. And let's look at the cast here. We got, of course, Ewan McGregor coming back as Obi-Wan. Help me with that top one. Who they got? Oh, of course, Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Vivian Blair.
Say it one more time.
Vivian Lila Blair.
Just read all those,
As
Andy.
Leia. We got Moses Ingram as Reva. Soon Kang as Fifth Broker. We have Grand Inquisitor Rupert Friend.
Yep.
Hayden Christensen, of course.
Yep.
Spoiler alert.
Yep. Big spoiler.
Kumail Nanjiani is the
He's great.
Just weaseling his way into everything.
I was like, what? I don't know. Weasel is a great
Love
way to
it.
describe his character. So
yes, that's what I
good call.
mean.
But yeah, that's
Joel
the big ones there.
Edgerton.
Yeah, Joel Edgerton
Back
is Owen.
as Uncle Owen.
Well, let's talk about the prequels again, just for a hot second, man. Did anybody else rewatch these coming into this?
No.
No, but
What?
I apprecited that little breakdown that they had at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
that's all I
well,
needed.
5
I
minutes.
forgot that they would do that. So, but I got
9 hours later, Logan's ready to
Well,
watch.
here's what's really fun.
Obi-Wan.
Worth it.
Carrie was like, "What do you?" I was like, "People complain about these," and she's like, "What don't they like?" I'm like, "I don't think they like that. There's not that much action and it's a lot of bureaucracy." And like they start talking about midichlorians and Jedi, and people just get lost.
Yeah.
And she's like, "I loved that." I was like, "Me too." What do you think, Dan P?
Yeah, the prequels took a lot of mystery out of the originals. Like, you got the whole story of Boba Fett, and he's a clone of Jango Fett, and all the clone troopers are Boba Fett's clones, and
Yeah.
then like midichlorians took like the mysticism out of the Force because it was like, it's a
It's magic.
it's a
Well,
microorganism,
It's not magic,
but it's not
science.
And we can measure it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then I think the other thing was George Lucas during that time got really obsessed with the special effects. And at the time, they were pretty groundbreaking. But they do not hold up great in today's day and age, especially Attack of the Clones.
And this has to be like maybe watching. I mean, here's a big thing that's different nowadays. You're watching these on Disney Plus. Are you because I know what you mean. You watch them and they don't hold up. Well, I'm thinking that they've updated all these things and they're just continuously tweaking them. Like,
No.
have you guys noticed
Like
this?
they look that much better. They look that much better now.
I
do you?
think so. I think because I know what
Okay.
you mean because I've watched like the old DVDs and I'll be like, oh my god, But like I watched this on Disney Plus and I was like, I swear they're just fine tuning everything.
Smoothing some stuff
Yeah,
out.
I've
It's-
noticed this in Marvel movies too, where like a scene will be missing or like just a little take, and I'm like, oh, they're just tweaking it a little.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I
anyone
know
else
they've
noticed.
done that for some stuff. I think the jarring thing was when I watched like the making of, especially Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
It's like them in front of just all green screens. They're just in a studio. Everything's a green screen.
Yep.
Like I think the lightsaber battles, like especially the one with Darth Maul,
Hell yeah.
and the first one is amazing.
It's perfect.
Like,
It looks legit.
The prequels have all the pieces. It's just how they put it together that I think people have problems with.
What do you think about a Jar Jar Binks? That's a big trope.
You got to sell some toys, right?
Yeah,
And
for
you-
sure.
Like,
This is
and
for
George
kids.
knew this. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's for kids.
And we're going to talk about it. Putting kids in Star Wars has, I think, always been problematic to the story.
Yeah.
And
But-
I think this show repeats that in some ways.
Yeah, we got to get those younger
But-
generations, the people that'll be buying movie
Jeez.
tickets and having these podcasts 20 years from now.
Dan's
Yeah,
about to
it's-
execute Order 66. over there.
What do you? He sounds like Anakin. No kids.
No, but I mean, like, think of the Marvel movies. What Marvel movie has a kid in it, and what is the most like uninteresting part of that Marvel movie?
Yeah.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3.
Like, he's like
Yeah.
hanging out with this kid, and it's like, why
My
is the
head-
kid in here?
My
Somewhere
head
in
went
Tennessee,
straight there
he
too.
didn't be relatable.
I think we need to change his nickname to Lord Patreon over here. Rise, Lord Patreon.
I love it. I want to see the dark side rise up in here tonight. All right, well, let's get into where these prequels left off. I mean, Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's going to take Luke and Leia, separate them. Leia's going to go be a rich senator's daughter on Alderaan, and Luke gets to go live in the desert in Tatooine with his aunt and uncle, and Obi-Wan's going to watch over him. And this is how the Republic is fallen at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. It's great because these three allies split up responsibility.
Yes.
So Senator Organa, who then is Leia Organa, he
Mhm.
takes Leia. He's like, my wife and I have always wanted a daughter.
And this actor, you guys know his name?
Jimmy Smith.
And
Jimmy
he's
Smith.
back.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in this.
Yep.
So he takes Leia.
Yep.
And then Obi-Wan is like, I know where I can take Luke, and he takes him to Uncle Owen, who's actually Anakin's stepbrother.
Yep.
Because his mom remarries. And so he takes him there, which is kind of like ironic. It's like, I'm going to take you to the one place, like, I guess he wouldn't think to look where he's from. Like,
Right.
And where he had
So-
where he had been in Attack of the Clones when he went back to
Oh,
save
yeah.
his mom.
oh yeah.
He was just
Yeah.
there. I kind of thought about
Yeah.
that a little bit. And
So-
Yoda's there, and he's like, "Hey,
Yeah.
listen, you watch over the kid, and not only that, but like I'm going to teach you how to whisper to dead Qui-Gon Jinn."
Yep. Yeah.
Liam
'cause
Neeson's
that's-
best character of all time,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Debatable.
Pretty
What's
good.
better?
Yeah, name it.
Taken.
I mean,
I know.
that's
That's close. It's
anything
probably
anything
right.
less obvious.
Probably right. At least he didn't get killed in
Probably
that one.
not. Yeah.
All right. And this is just like Scotty said. All right. So the next time you don't see anybody is 30 years go by until you get grown up Luke Skywalker and
Right.
meeting old Ben in the desert. What happened in between?
Yep.
They're going to
What
tell
a-
you.
What a great alias. I used to be Obi-Wan, but I'm just old Ben. Nobody will put two and two
Old
together.
Ben.
I'm old Ben.
Old. You mean old Ben Kenobi?
Old Ben Kenobi.
Right. Like didn't even try.
Not trying at all.
Yeah.
Like definitely not on my old home planet where I grew up.
Well, again, he's going to show us in this TV show that he is not good at like lying to people and being a spy.
No.
Yes.
So
I love where the show drops you in. We already gave that spoiler alert. This is the first 3 parts. They're calling these episodes parts, and parts 1 is going to drop you in right around the time of the prequels, going back to that Jedi temple when Anakin just first went to the dark side with the Order 66.
Order 66.
And they're killing the young Jedi, and you get a small group of young Jedi fighting it off. It looks like they leave the temple. Flash forward 10 years. Here we are on Tatooine. Ben Kenobi, Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's been 10 years.
10 years.
Oh, my God.
Hello there.
Hello there. And here he is. He's watching over Luke. He's hiding in the cave. He's working at a local place to make some money. It looks like he's to take home a little fish every day.
He's butchering space whales.
He's got this beard, and he's there on screen, and I'm sitting here going like, this is it. We're watching
Yeah.
this show about
Like,
this guy. We got a
here it
Jedi
is.
show.
I cannot believe this is happening.
This is great. He's
He's wheeling and dealing with Jawas,
yeah, he's got a Jawa friend that's kind of helping him out.
stealing his parts and selling them back
which
without
I'm
cleaning.
still wondering how that guy's going to come back, the Jawa. Which also, like the Jawa thing with subtitles, I'm like, well, this is new. Like sometimes we do subtitles on the Jawa, sometimes we don't. Like,
Sometimes it's just
someone's gotta figure yeah. Because usually what they do is like the human character translates what they're saying by the way they speak back to them. But I was like, I subtitles I can roll with it. I just anything that breaks me out of the fact that I'm like I want this to be a living thing. Like the first,
Yes.
like there's no subtitles in the original ones. Like think how many times the Ewoks are saying stuff and they're just like talking to them.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
they
yeah.
just know the language.
For sure.
Chewie's
Yes.
talking.
R2's
R2's
beeping and
beeping.
blooping.
And
Yeah,
and somebody turns around and just
Yeah.
goes like, okay, well, we're gonna head off there, and you're like, okay,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what they
we're
figured.
going.
We're
So-
going.
BB-8. Yeah, we
Yeah.
know what you're saying. Let's go.
They catch you up real fast. It's like he's gonna kind of do the drill, right? Like let's see what he does in Tatooine. He's headed to Luke soon,
Yep.
pretty much right away, and he's left him a little toy. It seems like a plane, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's was it T81 Hopper or something. Luke is actually playing with that in A New Hope.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
that's getting back in
Right.
his hands. He's as a like 20-something-year-old man is playing with a toy when he's sitting there while
That's
R2D2 is getting cleaned up. or R2D2 and C3PO are getting cleaned up.
Just sitting there like, play.
Yeah.
So that's going to come
He's
back
getting
around.
that somehow, yeah. I thought that's how he got it. And that, obviously Owen hands it back to him. He's like,
Oh, I love this,
get
man.
out of here.
Owen, anybody know this actor's name? He was in
it's Joel Edgerton.
There you go.
way to go, Scotty. And they bring him back. This
Yeah.
is the guy from the prequels. Here we go
They're
again.
doing it.
And he brings that plane, throws it at his feet, and he's like, "Don't you be leaving stuff for my kid. Don't even be around my kid." And he's like, Obi-Wan's like,
I've got to train him.
I've got to train. He's got to be trained when it's time. And he's like his dad?
Yeah.
Like you trained his dad. Like, oh, sick burn.
Now here's a big
like
thing.
actual burn.
Here's a big thing I
got the high
I
ground.
forget that is a massive secret that no one knows Anakin is Darth Vader.
Well,
But some people do.
that's going to be the question in this show, because there's illusions by some of the Inquisitors that they kind of know.
Yes.
So,
Talk to us about the Inquisitors. Who are these folks?
so they actually get introduced before Owen even throws a toy at him. So the Inquisitors were created for the Rebels series. And I think in that one there was 3 of them. You had the Grand High Inquisitor. You had, I don't remember if it's the third sister in that one. There's a female
I don't think
one.
it is.
I don't think it is either.
No.
With a helmet, and then the guy Inquisitor here, what's his
Fifth
name?
brother.
Yeah, the 5th brother. He's in that.
Fast
So-
and Furious.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Yes,
what I just
Han.
noticed.
Yeah.
and these characters, they are like the main villain now between episodes 3 and 4. So they're also in the Star Wars video game that came out. Was it The Last Jedi? Is that what's called?
Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi Fallen Order. Sorry.
with the kid from Shameless.
Yeah, with
Cal
Cal
Kestis.
Kestis. And that game has the second sister in it.
Okay.
Because I had to look this up, because I'm like, wait a minute, who these characters
Great
have very
game.
it's a phenomenal game. Like if you like video games, you like Star Wars, that's outside of Knights of the Old Republic, which is the #1 game you should play.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably 2.
What about Pod Racers on 64?
Oh, another great game. That for sure is tons of fun.
And in this show, the Inquisitors are introduced as this group of Jedi hunters.
Yeah.
And it's the only background you get is that they obviously are have ties to the Force.
They're Force sensitive,
They're Force sensitive.
but they're not Sith.
But it seems like some of them are
So,
old captured
yes,
Jedi.
Some of them are turned Jedi or younglings that didn't get killed that have been recruited.
which our main antagonist.
the Grand Inquisitor, he's in Rebels, and there's some speculation if this is the same one, even though they look very similar, obviously because what happens a little bit later. But they are these Jedi hunters. Some of them, like the Grand Inquisitor, his story was that he was actually a Jedi Knight Temple Guardian, so he worked in the Jedi Temple in episodes 2 and 3. And then when it fell, they turned them to the dark side, or however you want to say it, to basically go and hunt the Jedi.
Jesus. It was a lot of
Yeah.
meetings, like what we saw with Palpatine and Anakin, were just happening
Yeah.
all over. A
Yeah.
lot of people kneeling and going okay, I'm in. I'm dark
Yeah.
now. I'm
So-
going to do this.
So when they land, I think they do a good job of setting the tone for them. And you have the other one we have here, the second sister. With any Star Wars thing, people take it very seriously, and I do too. But there's a line, and one thing that I did want to say on the podcast, and I'm sure none of your viewers are a part of this, but there's been a lot of controversy about Moses Ingram, who plays second sister, to the point that Ewan McGregor had to come out and be like, hey, just because you don't like the character doesn't mean you get to treat the human being terribly online.
Was this the racist
And
comment
this is-
stuff?
Yeah.
It happens.
It happened. It
happened-
happened with was it Marie Tran?
Yeah.
Who played Rose Tico,
Yeah.
and that's the side of fandom that I just always hate.
It happened with Finn in episode
Yep,
7
happened
too.
with Finn.
Because you can't have black
Yeah.
stormtroopers.
Well,
And
at least the beautiful thing about that is it shows that fans are also just a big giant group of people.
Yeah,
Because you're always gonna have the spectrum of all good people that are just having fun, people that are having this middle ground. Then you're just gonna have this small group of racists.
yeah,
Right.
I guess. I
The-
didn't read much about it. Full disclosure.
yeah, no, it's. I mean, like I said, Ewan McGregor came out in support, and it's
Yeah, he did. He should put out a video or something.
he put out a video. But I have my qualms with that character, which we'll get to as we go through this.
Yeah.
But I think from a design standpoint, it's a person in a suit, whereas the other ones are clearly done up. Vader, everybody else has a cooler suit.
Yeah.
And I think the introduction of the Inquisitors when they come in though is great. I think it sets a tone. They walk in, they're talking about who a Jedi is and how easy it is to draw them out because they're do-gooders, and they're like, we're gonna start doing bad stuff because the Jedi won't be able to resist.
Yep.
And sure enough,
It's
the
like it's how
guy's
you
sitting
meet him.
there.
He's sitting there in the bar,
Yeah.
and she decides right away, like, I'm done with the questions. Throws a knife at the guy's face to show that, like, I'll kill him.
Yeah.
Force stops it. Compassion will kill you. The Jedi will hunt themselves.
For sure.
Yep.
It's the old Roger Rabbit shaving a haircut. He can't resist finishing the song.
Yep.
You know, they got to come out and save. They got to save people.
Yeah, that's their whole thing. And that's how you're going to meet these guys. And, I mean, this is happening. I feel like it's not long after we meet Uncle Owen, you know, where, like, oh, that's right. The Jedi that they scare out of the hut finds Obi-Wan on his journey kind of, like, back to his cave and, like, leaving the town, and approaches him and is like, hey.
It's like, I know who you are.
What's up, Obi-Wan? And he's like,
yeah,
get out of here. But very quickly just says, like, hey, listen, just leave.
Yeah, I think this does a great job showing where Ewan McGregor is. He's like, I need to train Luke, but it's like at the same time, he's broken.
Yeah.
And he's
sure.
like, well, I'm not a Jedi, but I need to train Luke because he, like, that was the mission he was given. But, you know, he's a broken man. And what I'm hoping we see through the progression of this is, like, the rebuilding of him. Because the Obi-Wan that we meet in A New Hope is a very different Obi-Wan than what we have right now, which is what has me most intrigued about this show right now.
Got to work toward this character.
Yeah. And, you know, I think Owen the actor that plays Owen does a great job of very much how the old Uncle Owen was. Like, nah, you can go after the spaceships next year. You can join the rebellion next year. He's like, you're staying away from my son. He's like, we're farmers. We're simple people. We don't need any of your, you know, high galactic war stuff. We're just normal people.
We got our blue milk and our hydro farming, and you just get out of here.
And last time you guys got to training, like, everything kind of went bad. So
yeah. And so we get all this great story on Tatooine about you know, Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan, where he's at. And then we cut to what I would call very much the prequel moment. And we're on a different planet, which is Alderaan, sorry, which is going to get blown up in New Hope.
Yep.
And here is some child being dressed, which I was like, oh, we're going to do this, huh?
We're just getting right into
what we saw of Luke sitting on top of the roof, like pretending like he's like flying, you know, driving a pod race or speed or whatever. That's all I need.
Yeah,
that's all I need. Like, I don't,
right.
You know, but we're going to get a lot more.
Well, because you know what they do is, you know, they go like, this is a story about two kids.
Right.
But I hear you, like, to where, like, well, it wouldn't have to be, you know, you could have like Obi-Wan season 2 or like, you know, other shows that like would be like, you know, Leia on Alderaan, but this is like the Tatooine show. But they decided very clearly this is going to be a story of two kids, the two Skywalker children, and we're going to be intertwining all these folks.
Yeah, I think like the Obi-Wan, whenever Obi-Wan's on screen, especially in this first episode, it's more somber. It's more like a broken character. It's dire. And then we flip over and it's like cheery. And the music does a good job of setting this like tonal difference. But it even looks like I'm watching episode 4 versus episode 3 with like the CGI and the way it's laid out. Like, it's, you know, all of a sudden the practical effects aren't there as much. I don't feel like, you know, these people are walking around in these cities. This is clearly like a CGI city.
Yep.
So, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that.
It's Leia, it's her parents, it's like, oh, you're going to be a senator, just like we all know you will one day, but we'll lay it out for you. And she's like, just this kid does a good job, but like, you know, you're getting you see Princess Leia throughout, I guess, 6 films, you know, and like her, you know, her character is this rebellious, smart mouth, you know, doesn't fit in the senator look. She's more of like the girl from the city, or, you know, your next door neighbor that's just like doing her own thing. And this little girl's bringing that as like a, you know, 10-year-old version of this character. Yeah. How do you think she's doing, Scotty?
I think she's doing great playing the character, for sure.
And Andy, this is at the top there.
Vivian Lyra Blair.
Yep.
So good she has 3 names.
Yeah. And so good that she's at the top of the cast list on the Obi-Wan show on IMDb.
Sure. Well, she's in every episode.
She
is.
The actress does a great job. Her lines are a little cringe for me sometimes.
Oh, sure.
Because I just not believe, like, this is where, you know, we're talking earlier in the episode, like Stranger Things does kid acting really well.
Mm-hmm.
This reminds me a lot of episode 1.
And
like the lines and everything. It's like, it's hard for me to believe a child with like a 10-year-old is going to say some of these things.
Sure.
She's smart though.
And she's also got Jedi blood in her.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
midichlorians.
Yeah.
A lot of midichlorians. Well,
And one of my favorite parts. So they're on this planet.
Yeah.
They tell her, "Hey, we're gonna dress you up." Oh, Psyche gets her like handmaiden that we're dressing
Yeah.
up. She's out in the woods. Oh, it's fun. The music's good.
Very
It's cheery.
episode 1.
Very episode 1, right? And then they come in like, "Hey, we're gonna go meet with her mom's sister and husband are coming into town. She's got to be the senator, right?" And so she comes in and they're at this like function. It almost looks like a political function or something, and they're having drinks and food and talking about politics. And then here's Leia talking with her cousin, which she says the word cousin like 30 times, like, "Hi cousin, hi,"
Yes.
this cousin, that cousin. Like I have cousins, I don't constantly refer to them as cousin. It was just it's awkward.
Matters for
and
something, or I mean,
yeah, it's just the writing that I go back to. Like the kid can pull it off. Like give her some good stuff to work with.
Yeah,
like she's
cousin.
got some. Yeah, quit making some of these like awkward dialogue choices. So then we kind of have these two stories, and you're like, okay, where are they going to go?
Well, she's gonna go into the woods.
Oh yeah, so she's going to go into the woods.
She's gonna be like, "Hey, listen, all right, Dad, thanks for the pep talk. I'm not gonna apologize. Still, I'm going in the woods. I'm running, and this. I liked this part, man, because like for me, here we go. She hits a bad guy. We don't know who this bad guy is, and you're like, you're the fan in you that's been watching all these years is going, well, no one knows she's Princess Leia at all. So no one's taking her for like that reason.
Right.
Okay, this is going to be for something else. But I mean, she, despite having some good little slides on the dirt and some running around, she does get caught.
Yeah. The only thing I'll say about this scene is if you go back and watch it, it's like watching, and I know Andy's a big fan, some really bad like wrestling fake outs.
Or like Three Stooges.
When they're
like
some Benny Hill or something.
Oh,
like they're like, because you like run up to the trees and they're like,
Yeah.
oh no,
they're like running into the trees, like, oh, where did that come from? Like
she slid on dirt.
Yeah.
I didn't know we were going to parallel Star Wars and wrestling today, but I'm always here for it.
Yeah, your fandoms are colliding.
So I think it's a good story beat. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's just the way it's laid out. There's some other action scenes later on that I feel the same way. But it's fun. And I'm like, okay, I'm interested. You're clearly going to bring these two characters together. So then, she gets captured. And
Dad's going to call Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, listen, man.
Who captures her? Does anybody know?
Okay, go ahead. I don't.
It's Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That is talking about that.
Oh my, that's the guy?
Yeah.
How did this
slapping the bass?
I just can't help but be like, who was in the room somewhere when like, John Favreau was like, he's like, I'm a big Red Hot Chili Peppers fan, actually.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, really?
Can we get Anthony Kiedis? No? How about Flea? Oh, he's in?
Hey.
Oh,
nice.
We can get Flea.
Not even the only celebrity cameo so far.
Who was
which is great.
in the first episode?
Well, Zach Braff's in it.
Zach Braff. Yeah, he makes it.
And
3.
Yeah. 3, yes. I know. I had to look.
Pretty random.
I got to give a shout to some recap videos I used to help me today. TV Line, also Movie Freeze on YouTube. Super simple, like 3 to 4 minute videos. They did a great job. And that was part of their recap was like, this is Zach Braff. And I was like, oh,
nice.
That's fantastic. Okay, so back to the story of part 1. Wrap this up. Is
she gets captured?
She gets captured, and Obi-Wan, he tells, what's his name on Alderaan?
Bail
Organa.
Yeah.
Organa. Senator Organa says, like, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, help us, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
You're our only hope.
He's gonna do it.
And I was like, okay, so this will be part of the story of like while she like this was an old friend of theirs, like because Princess Leia like knows Obi-Wan when she gives that message to R2.
It holds up canonically because she never speaks to Obi-Wan in A New Hope.
Right. Never speaks to him.
Never speaks to him.
Just
he
the
dies.
video.
She sees him die, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
But Senator
Bail
Organa. He shows up Tatooine. Shows up in Tatooine in the cave, and this is
like, hey, I tracked you down.
Yeah.
It wasn't that hard. Like, come on, man.
Well,
like what are you doing?
Like, we really need your help.
And I'm like, all right, I'll do it. So he goes out to the middle of the desert.
Starts digging.
Digs it
What
up.
were you thinking?
I was like, oh, I know what he's digging for.
Yeah. I mean, me and Carrie are, in bed watching, and I was like, oh, there's the lightsaber.
Yep. Both of them, his and Anakin's.
I mean. And he gets on a ship. He's going to go get her.
Yep.
Part 2. He shows up to this city, this new place. It's a new planet. You've never been here.
Dio.
Yeah.
Daimo?
Dio.
Dayu. An outlaw town that's
It's like
Full
it's
of
Vegas.
scum and villainy.
I know,
it's
but
it's Planet Vegas.
I was like, but we were already on Tatooine, but I guess that's more of like the underbelly of the galaxy.
It's the black market.
Right. And he's here to capture her. Help me with this episode.
Yeah, he's here to.
He's looking for Leia.
He's looking for
Leia.
He's looking for Leia. He's on the
save
hunt.
her. Which I thought
He
is
finds
cool.
her pretty quickly, I feel
Yeah,
like.
he
gets
gets
a tip.
there. He sees the washed up clone trooper, which was actually like a cool scene.
Yeah.
Because I think for a
Tamara
minute there, it's like,
Morrison.
he's like, is this guy going to recognize me? Like,
Oh,
does
he knew.
know?
Who he was
Oh,
for
he
sure.
knew.
And he gave him some money.
100% he knew.
Then,
who he was.
like in any good big city, he turns around and gets offered drugs by an actress who actually is his real life daughter.
Right.
Apparently. So,
yeah, want some spice?
yeah, she's like, you
Yeah.
want some drugs? He's like, no, I'm good. She's like, here, just take some drugs.
yeah, free drugs.
like every
the
good
first
drug
one's
dealer.
free. Everybody gets one.
Thanks, real life daughter.
And then this other kid comes up and's like, hey, I heard you're looking for Jedi. Like, I know a guy.
Yes.
Now we get a great scene.
Talk to us about
We get a great scene.
Kumail Nanjiani,
So,
right?
Yeah.
This is him, like being
yeah.
a Jedi, helping a family.
he's helping this family, walks in and he's like, oh, don't worry, I'm a Jedi. I'll protect you. And he like just force closes all the windows
We can
for
tell
no
your
reason.
kid is force sensitive.
Yeah.
We know where to send you.
Oh my God.
His best line is when he's on the intercom and he's talking with the person he's convincing. He goes, this is a Jedi mind trick. you will listen to me. And they're like,
Yeah, he's going like this.
He's going like this. He's like got his hand by his head.
He's
and-
like,
yeah, it's just like the Jedi have never said this is a Jedi mind trick to make this work. And Obi-Wan just in the corner like,
Yeah,
who
watching him
is
like,
this guy?
look at this joke.
he's like,
Yeah.
give me your he's like, okay, he did what I wanted. Give me your credits. And then Obi-Wan busts this guy. He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
fake ass Jedi.
Yeah, he's like,
just
magnets and switches,
It's-
man.
it's been-
Magnets and switches.
magnets and switches. It's been 10 years, and like this is a way to make some money.
But he
But-
says you're a rat, and rats know the sewers best, and I need to find somebody in the sewers. And
Yes.
he's like, hey, remember those drugs you just got? Go to the drug house, and that's where you'll find Leia. So
And he goes there.
he goes to the drug house.
He busts in.
Yep.
And there's a trap.
Yeah,
The bad guys leave a robot there and with a garm over or whatever, and he pulls it off, and then they get him. They've got him against the wall. Take his lightsaber. 3 guys kind of holding him. Not too much for Obi-Wan. Spice to the ground.
Yep.
Gets out. Finds Leia in another room, and has to convince her to like go with him.
Yeah, what's cool here though is you see Obi-Wan fight, and while he can take these guys on, it's not
He's not
Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan who
No.
took on Anakin. So
Yeah.
you're like, this is
No.
a guy that if he fought Vader now, which we'll see,
Mm.
it's not going to go well because
Mhm.
he hasn't drawn his lightsaber. Gets Leia.
He's carrying that blaster. I guess it's
Oh, yeah.
what's he say?
Uncivilized.
Uncivilized weapon. But in this one, he's like, well, uncivilized times.
Yep. While this is going on, we keep cutting back to the Inquisitors. They're looking for him. They're trying to figure out the third sister comes in again because we find out she hired these people to capture Leia.
Yes.
And
this
then-
is like now
She's
round
trying
2.
to flush him out.
Well, this
Yeah.
is now round 2, right? This episode 2. The first one they kind of tease this, right? Of like, what's your obsession with Obi-Wan? Why are you doing this? He's not the
Yeah.
main focus. And she's like, I'm tired of these little fish. And episode 2 is like, I'm gonna take this to the next level. I've kidnapped Princess Leia,
Well, she
a
knows
senator's daughter.
what she says in it is that she knows that there's some sort of connection between Obi-Wan and Organa, that they were somehow a lot allied or something. And she's like, I believe if I take this kid, like that, this is going to draw him out.
You think
specifically.
you think it's like this chick, this third sister was like around,
That's the question. That's why, like, I'm reserving judgment on her. My
Yeah.
problem with her right now is she's just really angry, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
but wait till episode 5,
Right.
Right.
And that's what I'm hoping we find out, because she reminds me a lot of Kylo Ren with like this just unfiltered like anger that you don't know why it's
Yeah,
happening. Like,
like,
why is this
for
person
what
so,
reason?
Yeah, why are you angry?
Like, give me something.
Yes.
Like, I have no idea why you're raging so hard.
But it's something.
Right.
You're like,
We
there's
hope
there's
it's
something.
something.
I hope it's
I really
justifiable,
hope it's
though.
something.
Well,
That's the problem with Star Wars.
And then, I guess jumping around here, like here in this episode, big chase scene. Leia runs away from Obi-Wan. I don't trust you. Jumping through the ceilings. The Inquisitors are now after him
Yep.
as well. She's doing the
It's-
third sister's force jumping from building to
Third
building.
sister looks like she is out of the Twilight movie, jumping at one point. She's like on all
Yeah.
fours. I couldn't get that out of my mind when I saw it. I'm like, oh,
There was a
God.
jump that looked a little bit like the
Yeah.
first Blade movie, just kind of
Yeah.
like, oh.
Yes.
It just goes back to these like chase sequences. For some reason in this series, they're struggling a little bit with them, but each episode I think is getting better, and so they're chasing them, and it's also
he's
like
blasting, he's shooting, he's doing okay.
everybody's missing.
Of course,
Yeah.
everybody's
Yeah.
missing, and we finally get to. I mean, this is like
She
toward the
catches
end,
up.
that she
Yeah.
she catches up,
She catches up.
and they're in like a warehouse, and she
We get Kumail.
Well,
Finally catches up to him.
before that, though, Leia falls off, and
Oh.
Obi-Wan
Oh, yeah.
grabs
Yeah,
her
yeah,
with
yeah.
the Force,
And
The
it's
Force.
almost
which
like
is the first time you've seen him use the Force.
She's
and-
been
and he-
begging him
and he
Yeah.
barely
to make her float.
seemed like he could barely do it.
Yeah.
Like,
oh
it's
yeah,
a struggle.
like he has not been
Like he hasn't.
using this.
Well, he
Yeah.
hasn't been practicing this, but like he's definitely like whispering to to Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon
Yeah.
Quite a
and
bit.
not getting any answers.
No answers.
He is so broken. He there's no communication
He's
there
just
whatsoever.
Yeah, he is broken.
He's
man.
not balanced.
So he saves her. You're a Jedi. Oh, we're still on the run. We're in this room. We're in like this warehouse. Third sister's there now. She's got a red.
Kumail shows up,
Kumail
Yep.
shows up.
says, "Hey, here's I can help you.
Oh my gosh!
You know,
right. And you need to go.
You need to go jump on this thing
to get to this other
to
planet.
get to this other planet. It's a
You're-
trade route. We'll
you're-
get you out of here.
You're not alone.
I like credits, but I also do actually help people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and you have friends out here. You're not.
Yep.
Jedi
Right.
aren't alone.
You're not alone.
And gives him the pro tip, and then the second sister doesn't she like find Kumail?
She
And
finds
she
him, and
sucks
he's
the
like, "Oh,
truth.
you finally found me.
yeah.
Yeah, it's me, Obi-Wan.
It's me."
Yeah, that's a new Star Wars power from the newer ones. The like, I can just determine the truth by that was a Kylo thing.
That was a Kylo
Yeah, yeah,
thing where he
yeah.
just gets really close and he's like
yeah.
Suck the truth out of your
So-
frontal lobe.
out of your face and finds out where they are. And this is where we get the big reveal from third sister to Obi-Wan. I mean, I forget the exact word she says.
Anakin is still alive.
He's alive.
Yeah,
That's
I
what it
think
was,
she
right?
first says Vader is alive, and Obi-Wan knows who that is, but then she does actually say Anakin,
Yeah.
which
Like,
is like
it's-
she knows.
Yeah, she knows Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader, which is not
Which is
common
that's-
knowledge to
yeah.
everyone.
So that's-
yes,
She
exactly.
must be a Jedi of some sort.
It
you would
really
think.
makes me think she was in the Jedi Temple.
Yeah,
like
I think
some
so,
sort
too.
of youngling trainee.
Which would be interesting that she wants to kill Obi-Wan, considering Anakin walked in and slaughtered all the kids.
slaughtered all
Well,
the
like,
children.
Guess she
I bet we'll get a flashback where
Yeah.
like Anakin found her and like talked to her,
Spared her life.
spared her, and like gave
turns her to the
Maybe.
dark
turns her to the
side.
dark side, and then like now it's like this is her. It's like the anger is from like I'm committed to the cause, but I just don't know. I feel like they'll go a little more personal, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
But this
So,
is
yeah.
essentially the end of the episode.
She
Well,
drops
you're
the
onto
truth
something there.
bomb,
drops a truth bomb.
and then the
High
Grand
Inquis-
Inquisitor
yeah,
shows
Grand
up,
Inquisitor shows up.
and he's like, "You need to stop what you're doing."
Not only
Like,
that,
she's like,
I'm
going
gonna
to
take him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, "We found him," and he's like, "It doesn't matter."
Classic boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like what? I did it.
And then we get this thing that there's been a lot of controversy about.
Yeah.
She kills the Grand Inquisitor.
Now listen,
Well,
you said it's the same character from like,
maybe,
but maybe not.
We don't
nobody knows.
This
We
could
don't
be
know.
it. So this is like for fans that like me that don't know this. Like this is
Mhm.
potentially another character like from
well,
the Rebels or
it
Clone
This
Wars.
is something that would take place before
Yeah,
something that's already taken
to
place.
where it's like he couldn't be dead yet. Essentially,
yeah, Rebels starts, I believe, at the beginning of A New Hope,
maybe he's not dead.
like right around the beginning of The New Hope. Well, he like the character looks exactly the same. It's like the same type of like alien with that makeup and everything.
Yeah, with the
so
sides
it's
on.
so it's highly likely he's not dead. It would
Yeah.
be weird if they're like, oh, and then the next one is the same
right.
looking alien.
And he's like, I'm here to
Yeah.
avenge my
Yes.
my
We're-
twin
yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
We've used the cloning technology,
Yeah.
and we just
Who
clone
knows?
Inquisitors.
Didn't you hear about the Clone Wars? And everybody's
Yeah,
like, this
I mean,
isn't that.
that is not gonna like with Dave Filoni on here. Like he oversees all this. Like
Yeah.
there's gonna be an answer. You just got to be patient.
Mhm.
There's gonna be an answer on that, I'm sure. And that takes us right into the last episode.
Part 3. Here we go. Let's just go into it. New planet. I don't remember where exactly.
They jump on the thing to a mining planet of some sort.
And
I had it written in my notes. If
And-
you guys only knew.
yeah, right. Yeah, your
we-
notebook that's at home.
We open this episode though with Vader being put back together.
Oh,
is-
right.
yeah,
Oh,
we
we didn't
see
even
the-
say it.
yeah.
We see him in the
Episode
back
2,
to tank.
in the back to tank
Yeah,
in episode
ends-
2.
Yep.
And then 3, we see him.
We see
They're
him,
putting
the
his
tubes are
You
coming
realize like
off.
how cut up he was. They're putting
Yeah.
his arms back on, all the tubes out of his back. They're piecing him together. They put all the plates on the front of him. It
They-
flips on. You
they
hear
did a
that
good
breathing.
job for
Yep.
giving function to that suit. Because they kind of like show you like this thing on his chest is kind of actually like this layer thing inside of the suit. And I'm like, okay, that's better than just like a button.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? And the voice I feel like they
James
kind
Earl
of
Jones.
they kind of show James
Yeah.
Earl Jones back again.
back. He's like 91.
Jeez.
with Hayden in the suit. I love it.
Yeah.
And we get some like Vader time, right? Like this is like Vader ruling.
Vader.
Yeah.
Talking to
he's-
Reva.
Yep, he's talking with Reva, basically being like, if you bring in Obi-Wan Kenobi, like you'll get what you want, which is
Yeah.
to be High Inquisitor.
Right.
Which again, I'm like, not enough motivation for this much anger.
Right.
There's got to be something else. Like I do want to know what that is. Like that they're doing a good job with.
It's like she.
Yeah.
You really feel like Obi-Wan has wronged her in
Yeah.
some way.
yeah, there's got to be something that she
And
wants
even
him
if-
specifically.
Even if it's that she knows that Obi-Wan trained Anakin and failed, and he killed all of her friends and family or something.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
know, like who knows?
So they're like, we're gonna go find Obi-Wan. Then we cut back to that planet, and Leia and Obi-Wan are kind of bickering.
Yeah, they're bickering. He's irritable. She's asking a lot of questions. And then they basically like give up, right away. It was where it's like, I knew it. There was no help here
Yeah,
until this bus pulls up with Zach Braff.
Well, and I thought it was funny when the
Frack.
bus pulls up and he's like, "Okay, we're farmers, like, and don't talk much." And she's like, "Well, do I not talk much, or you just don't want me to talk much?" She's like trying to like get into character. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, that was kind of
That
clever."
was pretty funny. And she kind of jumps in with
She
her
just
story.
takes the lead.
Yeah, she's like, "Can I not talk?"
And,
Like,
she,
am I mute?
and she just runs. She's like,
Yeah.
we're just here.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Luma.
Yeah.
I'm
Do you want to give us a ride? No. We don't need a ride.
That's
just point us in the direction. No, just get in. All right.
Yeah,
At that point, Dan was like, "Dang, should have killed her off then. Can't trust these kids."
You get some good dialogue on the little bus too. Like there's a lot of dialogue between Obi-Wan and Leia that like, we haven't got into all of it, but like I think the big thing here for episode 3 is like some of that Jedi lifestyle of like this guy, when you become a Jedi, it's like no more sex, you're not dating, you're
Taken from your family at a very young age.
Very young.
Because remember when Anakin was taken, he was too old.
Yeah, he was too old.
And he was like 10.
yeah.
Yep. And
So-
because like they like remember their parents and all that.
I
And he's
remember
like,
my parents a little bit, and I think I might have had a brother. I remember a baby of some sort.
Obi
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So that was
Obi-Doo.
Oh my God.
Owen.
yes.
Owen was canonically Obi-Wan's brother in the novelization of A New Hope.
Okay.
And then they retconned that because it was never in the movie. George Lucas cut it. Originally, that was going to be Obi-Wan's brother.
Yeah.
But then they retconned it in Attack of the Clones when they made him Anakin's stepbrother.
Hmm.
And now that's the canonical version of who
And
Owen
so
is
now
to
there's
him.
just
So
like
now
this
there's another guy.
Now there's a
Yeah,
mystery.
but that's a
brother
throwback. Like that's how some of these Star Wars people that are actually overseeing this, like kudos to them. They know all these little nuances.
Yeah.
Like I had to look that up.
You have to like with all the different threads that you
Yeah.
could be pulling on. There could be mistakes that are made. You never know. Okay, so on the bus, I mean, this is scary shit here. All right, someone tell me about this gear symbol. What is that gear symbol on the back of the thing? That they pause on it like so hard, and it's a flag on the back of that thing with a gear, and it's like they held it. They held the camera on it. I mean,
so like that was the Republic thing. Wasn't it the symbol of the Republic?
it has to be, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
that's what
what
I
it
thought
is,
too,
and it's
yeah.
like it's a republic, and he knows
yeah.
it
And it was like,
because the
oh
republic,
man,
because the
we
republic,
might be screwed here.
because the republic's everywhere now.
They're walking around in the in the fields, and they see off in the distance the stormtroopers.
Yes,
And, they're trucking along the little thing, and he's like, I see some stormtroopers. Let's pick them up.
hop on, guys. And you get the nice little, hiding here in plain sight kind of thing.
You haven't seen any Jedi, have you?
Obi-Wan
He's like-
has the slip where he says Leia instead of Luna.
And he's
Yeah,
like,
right.
if I put my hood on, I won't look like a Jedi.
Oh yeah, not if I go like
I was like,
this.
dude.
Yeah, and he's like
come
walking
on.
around. His
Totally Thor.
his lightsaber's just kind of like,
Yeah.
just like flipping around.
Yeah, I remember he was on the planet and he was just taking his jacket off and it's just flapping around.
Yeah, it's like he got those lightsabers
Like, I
out
thought
of the,
we were undercover here, bro.
he got those lightsabers out of the ground, and he's like, do.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't care. But they get out of it until they get to like the base or whatever.
I think it's like a checkpoint.
It's a
Yeah,
check-
little
out
like
like
a
a
laser fence.
Yeah, laser fence checkpoint.
and the
Yeah.
bus driver, he's not good.
we
no,
get the
he's like, hey, picked up some stragglers.
Pretty sure
if
it's
you
a
wanna-
Jedi.
If you want to check them out,
Yeah.
you know, maybe run a background check or something. We get the what was it? The
probe droid. Probe droid shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah. Well, and they
I'll
cut
just
back
scan
like
his
we
face.
we sent out some probe droids to all these mining colonies, and apparently here's the one probe droid that's sent to this planet.
Here it is.
Whole
Shows up.
planet, guys, like 3 blocks away. He's
Yeah.
like, I'll be there in a minute.
And Obi-Wan decides like, this is it. I'm gonna throw down.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
he
quick
knows
draw
it.
McGraw.
Yeah, he's like, I'm about to be discovered. Pulls out that blaster, starts shooting some
right,
people.
right in the probe droid eye.
Shoots a stormtrooper off a tower, falls on the fence, and gets cut in
Oh my
half.
god,
was
yes,
great.
that
Like
was
the-
awesome. I
Yeah.
remember watching that, and I was like, man, that was
Well,
awesome.
I'm like, wait a minute, we got like a 10-year-old girl here, and now we're cutting stormtroopers in half. Like,
Yes.
wow, we're progressing quickly.
In the
She's seen a lot.
Yeah.
In her young life.
very quickly, and in the recap from I think it was TV Line. I have the link to that in the description today. I feel like they said that this was like when you finally got like one of the classic stormtrooper yells as they fell from the
Oh,
yeah. And this is where the help finally arrives from
Yep.
Kumail.
No, Tila,
Yeah.
Well, what's her
Oh,
name,
I got
right?
her name.
Yeah, but I
yeah.
assume this is the help,
Tara.
Yeah. So
Right? Or is
Game
it-
of Thrones alum.
Oh.
Yeah, she
Yes.
was
Yes,
from
Illyria Sand.
Indira
Yes.
Varma as Tala.
Tala,
yeah.
and she's the
Dressed as a
Imperial-
Imperial officer.
Yep.
Comes and you're like,
Sm-
uh-oh.
Yeah, like
And
we're
then pop,
done.
pop.
Yeah,
Kill, but
smokes
right in the
them.
back, takes out both stormtroopers, and she's like, I'm here to help.
And this is like apparently like his guy, the friend. That
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is the connection. She's
They're
like,
like,
sorry, I
oh.
was late. I
Yeah.
got there and you were gone.
And so she takes them. Okay, you guys are with me now. Here's a little bunker where I hide people out, including so there's like a rebel symbol in there that I think their sister sees. There's a character that
There's-
Obi-Wan
so
calls
Quin-
out as a Jedi.
Quinlan Voss.
Quinlan Voss. Yeah,
He's
For fans like
from-
me that don't
Yep.
know.
So he's from Clone Wars. He was also I think he has a canonical book written about him now.
for sure.
He's kind of
Some
like
some
more
comics.
like he's like a more like what do I want to call him? Like a
He's
not-
an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's an anti-hero. He hangs around with Ventress, who's also from like Clone Wars. She's a big villain. She wields 2 red lightsabers. She's one of Ahsoka's like main
yeah,
anti
We'll see her.
main villains. Yeah, she's definitely going to be in Ahsoka.
for sure.
And she first debuted in the Star Wars Clone Wars animated series on Cartoon Network before Episode 2
Yeah,
by the same creator of Samurai Jack.
Oh man, what a show!
those were the ones that were like 5 minutes.
Yeah, they're like 5 minutes. They did a bunch of them.
Yeah.
You can watch it. It's
Yeah.
all on Disney
There's like an
Plus
hour
now.
and a half
Yeah.
of them.
I think I was
Yeah.
watching like
Yeah.
live at the time.
And
Yeah,
they're
for
really
sure.
good.
Yeah, they're super good.
But that's where she debuted, and then they brought her into Clone Wars. So Quinlan Voss like hangs out with her for a while, but he's like a fan favorite, kind of
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he's like the when I say fan, I mean like the fans that read all the other stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
right. Obviously,
To
'cause I'm not
where-
remembering this
yeah.
character specifically from the movies. I think this character was maybe
They-
shown one time in episode 2.
They showed him
Yeah.
in episode 1 as well, I believe.
Yeah, I think he's in one for like a minute.
But this is we've stumbled upon the Jedi Underground Railroad.
yeah,
Which
is
I mean,
basically what it
again,
is.
like going back to episode 1, like, oh my god, what do I love about this show? Finally, Jedi.
yeah.
Like
Sith,
we're getting
Force.
some, yes, we're getting
all the things you
somewhere.
probably love about the Clone Wars is like now like take hopefully all the best stuff Jedi wise and like put it in this show. Hopefully,
Yeah, like before we just saw this one, schmo Jedi
Right. yeah.
who we didn't know who he was,
But,
but
I don't
he's
want
dead.
to. I want to go to college.
Right. And now we're getting some threads. We're getting some
Okay.
strings here.
Okay. So they're laying low. She's got him there, and then the plan is,
She's like, I'm gonna get you out of here.
yep,
Yeah, to some other planet.
yep. I'm gonna get you guys gone. I guess maybe back to Alderaan. That's it,
Well,
right?
yeah, that's where
it's,
they're trying to
yeah.
get her.
it's
yeah.
time to get her home. Trying to get her back home.
Yep. And
We'll have you
then-
there by nightfall. which it already kind of looked
It
like
already,
it was
yeah,
Nightfall.
already was.
Like Nightfall where? There's a lot of planets out here.
And while they're waiting,
Oh, he gets like some huge like force
like
headache,
like just like
crippling. Like what is happening?
he looked like he looked in episode 4 when Alderaan blew up.
Yeah.
But like that level of just like someone's here.
Yeah, something is happening. Huge disturbance in the force.
Darth Vader.
We get did they play the Imperial March?
Oh, they
No,
did, right? A
no.
little pieces here and there. I feel like they just mixed in different like parts of it. They wove it.
Yeah, the music like sounded similar to a lot of the prior Star Wars stuff, but it wasn't the same.
I think this is a transition they're
I
gonna
like that.
make.
It's kind of, it reminded me of like the Batman movie where
It's
it was like
that, but not
kind of
quite.
a callback to the prior movies.
Not
but
just the straight up
its
dun
own-
dun 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 dun. Like, if we
Yeah.
do that, then
It's
it's
a
the old
similar
movie.
beat.
Yeah.
And he's there with the stormtroopers, and they just let him do his thing. Like he just
Oh,
walks
yeah.
through. He's force dragging people through the
Drug
street.
the lady out of the window.
He's snapping
the guy
necks.
comes out to
Yeah.
try and help her. He snaps the neck.
This is the most violent, like, hour or whatever, probably even 30 minutes of Star Wars ever, with a clone trooper getting cut in half. Like, that doesn't really, like, you know how many clone troopers and stuff get taken out with lightsabers in the prequels? It just, like,
They just fall
they
over.
just fall over.
like,
Yeah.
They're not actually cutting limbs off very often, except Jango Fett getting beheaded by Mace
Yeah.
Windu. But other than that,
Yeah, this is this is Lil Annie.
yeah, the neck snap.
This is flashback to the end of Rogue One,
Right.
when Vader was going full Vader.
full
Yeah.
Vader.
And you're like, yes. Like, this
Yeah.
is terrible, and I love it.
yes.
So
And playing the same games, I'll just kill until you come out. And I mean, Obi-Wan just kind of running around trying to just
Obi-Wan's
evade.
like, you guys get out of here. He's here for me.
I'll
Go-
distract him.
Go down the longest tunnel ever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you guys get out of here. I'll lead him out. And I mean, this is the rematch.
whatever you do, don't turn around.
Yeah, is that what he said?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something
Don't
like that.
come back.
And of
Don't
course-
come back.
Of course, she
Yeah.
did not listen.
She couldn't help it. She's like, I'm gonna help this guy. I like this guy. I mean, what'd you think of this rematch? I mean, what we get? All right, we get a few things before we get any lightsaber battle. You get Vader lighting the sand on fire and like pulling, a little bit of back and forth, maybe like against each other, but like, pushing him
Yeah,
away.
there was a couple of
Just a couple.
encounters,
Just
like
a couple.
stick and move, basically.
Stick and move, run away.
And he's gonna run away.
He's walking around so casually. He's
Oh, yeah,
fighting
this
with
is
one hand.
It reminds
totally
me,
like Jason Voorhees.
right. That's what I was gonna say. It reminded
Friday
me
the
of a horror
13th.
movie. Like the difference in like power between these two
Yeah.
is exactly like a horror movie.
You can, and this is where the rust is really starting to show on
Real-
Obi-Wan.
real
Yeah.
bad. You're putting him against the top now,
Yeah.
and he's not even trying. But like, he's just frail. He's falling down. He can't even hold his lightsaber up.
Yeah.
Then we get a little on the nose,
Let's hear
and
it.
we light the sand on fire.
Light the sand
and
on
then
fire.
we drag Obi-Wan through the fire, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, one, like Obi-Wan doesn't have like burn marks in A New Hope, so like we can't.
Yeah.
There won't be
Like,
that.
You just know because it's a prequel thing, like some of what's going to happen here. And I thought that, like, I would have rather them fought more with the lightsabers and Vader just clearly like been outmatching him, to be like, in these 10 years, like, I've gotten stronger and you have faded away.
Or he captures him, and then it's like
Yeah.
5
but-
years later,
Yeah.
and he's had him like captive the whole time. You
Yeah.
know.
But the pulling him through the fire, he's like, oh, I was in the fire and you didn't save me,
Right.
so now I'm going to put you in the fire. It just
Yeah.
felt
Yeah,
a
who's
little,
got
it was
the
a
high
little too
ground
much.
now?
And
yeah.
and he was like, and Obi-Wan's like,
Didn't
"What
work
have you
for me."
become?" And he's like, "What you made me."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well,
Yeah.
I mean, but just twisted. You know, you can't really argue with the psychoticness of this guy,
Yeah.
because like, I mean, he was, I love Padme, and like, I hope she doesn't die in this pregnancy, and then like in 5 minutes was like, I'm gonna chop off kids' heads,
Yeah.
literally. Star Wars.
The younglings.
The younglings, like
Yeah.
Star Wars. Everybody's like, "Oh, Jar Jar Binks." I'm like, "What about murdering children?"
Right.
Because you got that
Yeah.
too.
Oh, you didn't like this slap happy character?
Here
How
you
about
go.
we kill some kids?
Here, the kids are dead. You
Yeah.
happy? All right. Rematch ends with
Tala pops up, because
saves his ass.
Vader says, pick him up, like, bring him with us. Tala pops up, shoots him. And I'm trying to remember, something happens where they can't.
he
Drags him out.
The fire.
Oh, the fire like reignites.
Yeah,
all of a sudden.
reignites.
It gets like too big where like
Yeah.
everybody's
And
like, I
he's like,
can't see
"Oh."
over there.
Vader's like, I'm not going in there.
Yeah, he's like, I don't like fire. I got a bad
Flashback.
history.
He's like, if I get burned again, there's nothing left.
He's like, I mean, we could walk around. Like, it's really not like that big.
Yeah,
but,
you can
it's
like,
well,
we'll
wasn't
just
he
let
in
her
the fire?
take him.
Like you could. I thought I was like, okay, he's fireproof.
He was
Was
just
he
on the
in it?
out. He's on the
Okay.
outskirts,
Okay,
and he might have been like force keeping the fire down.
Who knows?
I don't know how the
But-
force works.
Yeah.
My metachlorian count's pretty low.
Yeah, that's why we need a Qui-Gon
Sperm
show.
sperm count's really high though.
That's why we need Liam Neeson to come back for a Qui-Gon show. Yeah, you're right.
I
It's
hope.
like, Annie, your Qui-Gon, your midichlorians are off the charts, but your sperm count's very low. All right, and then, of course, Leia.
Yeah. Oh
Right,
yeah.
right.
Running by herself to find the pilot to get her out of there. Are you the pilot?
Pilot's dead.
Not
Man, I thought, did
exactly.
anybody else think Pilot was going to be somebody
Yeah, I did.
for a hot sec? And then it was
Yeah.
like,
Oh, yeah,
oh, no
for
And
sure.
Pilot.
I was like, oh, I was way off.
Who did
I'm
you
a-
think it was?
I'm Han
I
Solo's
was-
dad.
I was literally in the process of thinking who it could be, and then it hit me when I heard the voice, and I was like, oh yeah, there we go,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
Reva.
he
Damn
could have
you.
been. It could have been Han Solo, right?
No.
No, it couldn't have been because he would have
No.
been like a young kid.
Oh,
He would have
please-
been 10 as well.
Please
Yes.
don't.
Yeah.
Please don't.
I'm Don Solo.
I don't.
Han Solo's dad.
Don Solo.
I made the Kessel Run in 15 parsecs.
Yeah, I've heard it put by other people that Star Wars sometimes suffers from what they call small galaxy syndrome, where it's
Yeah.
like there's massive galaxy, all these people, all these things going on, but we're always like bumping into the same like 20 something
Same
people.
characters.
Yeah.
Or characters who know the
Yes.
characters in some sort
Or they're
of
like,
way.
we're back on
So,
Tatooine. I'm like,
but-
guys, we can't keep going back
Like,
to Tatooine.
there are so many planets. Stay off
Yes.
Tatooine.
And Tatooine is like they sell Tatooine, and the first one is like episode 1. It's like it's the outskirt, one little. I'm like, why are we always here then?
Yeah. Why are we always in Mos Eisley?
Yeah, but it's fun.
It's that's what was so great about The Mandalorian was, especially season 1. It was like, I don't know anything about any of these characters.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
fun.
I don't know what's going to
Fresh.
happen to them. It was great. Like,
Yeah.
they need more of that. Like, I don't mind some of these like in between stories, but like I love the like just new original thoughts in the same universe.
Yep.
Like, and like I didn't even need the Mandalorian Boba Fett to like come together, in all honesty.
I know.
But
Right.
Oh,
I didn't need Bo-Katan.
I didn't need it. Yeah.
I didn't need Ahsoka. It was
Yeah.
all awesome
It's
and
cool.
welcome,
Yeah.
but it's not something I needed with this character.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, like as you're watching, like Luke Skywalker and Grogu and Ahsoka on the screen, you're like, I don't need this. Like that's when you know that the formula had been like force fed a little bit, And there is a little bit of that happening in this show. Again, like you said, Dan, with these kids, like I just want Obi-Wan like
Well, it's
navigating
how
Tatooine. Like,
I just think I would have loved to see an Obi-Wan story that honestly didn't have anything to do with Vader or Luke and Leia. Like, Luke's
yeah,
there,
Vader, Luke,
Luke's
Leia.
there,
Yeah,
but it's like, once again, here we are, these exact same like 3 people,
yeah.
and now we're gonna talk about how he used to hang out with like Leia, and Leia like never brings us up. Oh, hey, remember that guy that got murdered?
Not ever.
He saved me when I was like a kid, let alone the fact that like later he's like, hey, like you're my sister.
Yeah.
It's like, well, oh yeah, that old guy you were hanging around with, like he like saved my life one time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're
gonna try to explain that away.
I'm sure.
Oh, I was with him the
she
day.
got bumped on the head, and now
well,
she's
they'll
got amnesia.
CGI Carrie Fisher back into the next episode or something, and she'll be like, it'll be like right after they're at the Ewok village celebrating Return of the Jedi, and she'll be like, oh hey, remember that Obi-Wan guy? I forgot to tell you.
Right.
She's
Hey,
on
are
her,
you seeing that Force Ghost over there? That's
She's-
Obi-Wan, right?
Yeah.
she's on her deathbed. She's like, wait a minute.
I kept meaning to tell you. I wrote a note and everything.
All right, 3
So.
down. Anything else there? Part 3.
That's how it ends.
I mean, we're gonna see Leia and third sister interactions here, and then Obi-Wan's gonna have to
Yeah,
save her.
tomorrow.
And that's tomorrow for us.
We're
Yeah.
gonna see
already happening for you if it came
Yeah.
out.
It's going to be interesting with those 2 characters. You have a very angry person and a very like witty, sarcastic child.
Oh yeah.
Love it,
So
Love
It's
it.
gonna be a fun interaction for
I'm
sure.
excited. Like I said, it's fun. It's not always what I want, but I'm happy I'm getting something.
Yeah.
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 Like-
Exactly. I will consume whatever you give me with a smile on my
Yeah.
face.
Well, and I mean, they that is true, but I mean, I like talking about how we feel about it for real. Giggler, how these first 3 go for you? What do you expect? What are you expecting to see in the next 3 out of Obi-Wan? Are we going to see?
man.
Are we going to see a Star Wars rematch? Or I'm sorry, a Darth Vader rematch?
I'm loving like just bridging this gap, like Scott said earlier. I think we're in for a treat for these next 3. Like, I think that we might see maybe one be like a little bit slow, but I think besides that, it's going to be just balls to the wall lightsaber fights, Anakin versus Obi-Wan, like repeatedly, and I'm fine with that because that's exactly what I want. I don't need to see Princess Leia like story anymore. Just give me all these two like going head to toe. Give me Obi-Wan like finding his stride, coming back and
getting his groove
turning
back.
into the guy that he was that we saw in A New Hope.
Yeah, it's like a badass that could still throw the saber around.
I mean,
at that point,
it's
though,
what's going to happen.
they were
because
both-
we know
he's,
it
yeah,
happens.
he's gonna fight Reva. He's gonna fight Vader again.
And yeah, I
And
want to see
who knows who else we'll see.
What's the deal with Reva. You're right. I agree with what you said earlier, Logan. Like there was something more there that they're gonna.
There's an unseen motivation.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm pumped.
Let's go to Scotty Scoop. Gonna leave our super fan here probably for last. Scotty, what else are you expecting to see here? First 3 are obviously feeling okay for you. I think we've kind of covered some areas where we're hitting and missing, but talk to us.
I think it's all uphill from here. Like,
Yeah.
This is the meat of the show. It's only 6 episodes.
Yeah, for sure.
So we are halfway through already.
I love it. I love breaking it up in chunks too.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows where this is going to go? What we're going to get? I'm really hoping to see 1 or 2 characters, show up that we know for sure.
I love it. I'll just get out of the way. I really want to see Qui-Gon Jinn. And
we're going to get him for
you're
sure.
getting that.
It's going to be episode 6.
I feel like they wouldn't be doing the whisper teases if not.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll be a teaser for something else, or maybe like just bring him in. The way they're pulling shit nowadays with all this stuff, I could see them like just bringing back him and Yoda and you got you got a Force C-3PO or something. I don't know.
Force Ghost
C-3PO
Party?
was in
And the
episode
new
1.
Oh yeah, and well 6
And R2D2.
and in 7, 8, 9. So
Yeah.
like they're very much around.
Yeah.
You're totally right. All right, Dan P, lay it on us. How'd 1 through 3 go? What do you expect for 4 through 6?
Yeah, 1 through 3 are good. I expressed some of my concerns with them, things I don't like. Ewan McGregor back as Obi-Wan is just awesome. Like he loves the character. You can tell he is having fun being there. He's enjoying doing this, and he does a phenomenal job. I think there's great people around him. I think they've put an interesting story together. Just like I talked about earlier with some of like the prequels and even the newer stuff, like they always have the right pieces. They don't always put it together in the way that I would have liked. But I want to know how this ends. And I'm excited to see, this might be the last time we get Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. Because I don't know what else you'd tell, really.
Right.
So,
like this is the only thing.
I just want to see him do justice by him. And I hope that this ends in a way much like Rogue One did, where you feel like you understand where he's at in A New Hope, based on what happens in this series.
Satisfying, is what you're looking for. That's satisfying.
Closure.
And we understand this to be a limited series that is only going to be 1 season. Do you think that's true?
I think so. Ewan McGregor's a pretty big actor. I think this story, like, honestly, if you did multiple seasons, I feel like it would kind of be a bit too much.
You think you get this character again in any movies?
No.
And
I don't think so.
any predictions for characters that super fans could look to maybe seeing in 4, 5, and 6? Here for I'm sorry for these parts. That's why they call them parts and not episodes.
Well,
because they're like, you're not going to call these episodes. These are parts.
I could see
Darth Maul.
I could see.
Give me it. It's not happening, but give me it.
I could see possibly Cal Kestra showing up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's one of the ones I'm hoping for.
That's
Darth Maul's dead.
No.
Darth Maul is not dead.
Yeah, Darth Maul's not dead.
Oh, because he in the Clone Wars they
Solo.
Clone Wars. He was in Solo.
So what'd they do? He found his legs at the bottom.
God, we don't have enough time. Witchcraft.
Give me a
machine spider legs.
Spider legs.
Spider legs, right?
And
Okay.
He's got the regular
robot
spider
legs.
Yeah.
Okay, well, give me that.
And he's got a brother. So
Darth Paul.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? You think we're gonna make it pop up? You mentioned a few there.
Yeah, like I said, Cal Kestra. Maybe Quinlan Voss. Maybe we get a live action version of him.
Why mention him?
Yeah.
If you're not going to pull that thread.
You watch other shows, Scotty?
Yeah, I've seen Rebels and Clone Wars.
You read anything? You read anything?
I've read some of the older stuff, the comic book stuff that would be like post everything.
Man, that's another thing too, is the timing. Like I watch this show and I'm like, okay, 10 years after Episode 3.
It's
not like
it's a hectic
Mandalorian, which
timeline.
is 5 years after the fall of the Empire. I'm like, no, totally different.
Yeah.
You're not any different.
Episodes. Yeah, we're on the opposite side of a trilogy.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know why they would put him in there, but Thrawn could be in there, or even Tarkin. I don't know why, but I mean, they already got a CG Tarkin from Rogue One they could pull out of the Disney vault, I'm sure. But
Well, this is this time
possibilities.
frame. Any chance we see Yoda?
yeah,
Force
There's a fair
Yoda. Maybe a
chance.
Force Yoda.
yeah,
No, I mean he's still alive.
I know, but I mean, like from afar.
Oh, like a projection.
like a
Yeah,
connection.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, cool. That's it. That's Obi-Wan Kenobi. We talked about the first 3. Dan, I'm gonna go ahead and put you on the spot. Would you come back and join us for the last 3?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. How'd we do? Do you think we did it justice for these
Yeah,
first half?
absolutely. I appreciate you having me on. I think it's good.
Perfect. We talked about how we felt. We'll rate it when we come back and finish it off. Let's hear about how some people online felt about this. Some folks from Twitter told you guys we'd be shouting you out. Hope you're excited. IO Psychology seemed fun, but Star Wars continuity doesn't make much sense and hasn't really since the prequels. Dan, do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, we could be friends.
It's tough.
It is.
At Wade Kelly, the first episode was slightly more pleasurable than getting teeth pulled. So much in the setup. Too much.
See, Logan, I feel better now. Like your audience is clearly going to appreciate some of my takes here.
Yeah.
This is the thing. You gotta bring the spectrum in. W Crayhair 14. The show is okay and looking forward to continue watching, but I can't get over how bad the woods chase scene is. That is some home movie.
He must have
quality
made that
stuff.
comment
Agreed.
before episode 2,
Yeah.
where Leia was running away in the streets.
He's like, once you got her on the rooftops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else we got? We got some more here. Oh, yeah. Raven of Many Hats on Twitter says it's yet another outing of Disney parading a rushed, milquetoast, middling piece of Star Wars property that out there with flashy visuals that disguise the mediocre and uninspired production. I wish it was better, but this is late stage Hollywood. Everything is cheap.
Man.
And then here we go. I had to end this on a positive note. I mean, I don't care what you say. I'm going to share the stuff in the show, so we're reading it for you fans. At _infinity_bros_. Excellent. It's so great to see Ewan McGregor return to one of the most iconic Star Wars roles ever. Can't wait for the rest of the show.
Look, I'll give your audience my hack for Star Wars these days. Assuming you're of age, have a couple of cocktails or beers or whatever you like beforehand, and you'll just enjoy it.
Just enjoy it.
Don't I know we just overanalyzed it, but
Yeah, but
you
you
just got to
can-
sit back and try and take it for what it is, because this is what you're getting.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, like, you're watching a Star Wars
Yeah,
TV
look-
show called Obi-Wan
Yeah.
Kenobi.
Would
Why are you
rather
mad?
not have
Yeah.
this?
You don't want it? Cancel Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like that's
you could
how you got to
just
tell 'em.
choose to not consume this content.
But everyone's entitled to their opinion.
Sure.
And they'll definitely give it to you on internet,
Yeah.
too. And, hey, I even
Yeah.
encouraged it. I said, I'll read them out loud on a microphone. Some fun facts from IMDb. There was a couple here that I want to make sure we covered. Okay, we already covered this. Set approximately 10 years after Star Wars Episode 3. I love that. This was actually originally meant to be the first Star Wars spinoff film to be Jedi-centric outside of the Skywalker saga, but the planned anthology film was reportedly shelved following the box office disappointment of Solo.
Yeah, that the real story there is Last Jedi screwed Solo.
Okay.
Oh,
Because-
yeah. 100%.
Because the fans were so upset with Last Jedi, and then they kicked Solo out like 2 or 3 months later, and it just didn't do well because everybody was still bitter about, like, The Last Jedi breaks Star Wars continuity more than any other movie.
Yeah,
By
that really killed it.
far.
I enjoy all those movies, but they did a
Yeah.
bad job not letting one person
Yes.
handle those 3 movies.
Yeah, they needed to make the decision in the beginning if it was going to be a trilogy or if they were just going to keep telling stories.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they needed to be clear about what that was going to be.
Yeah, those
With
three.
fans and internally, I think. But Solo is still my favorite new one. So.
This was my favorite fun fact from the list. In 2020, Ewan McGregor said that he would like the series to be called Hello There.
Hello there.
And obviously they
Kenobi.
said that's a bad idea.
You see that bottom one on there?
Tell me, read it.
Instagram post by actor Ray Park has led some to believe that Darth Maul will appear in the series. I believe that's the actor that played him.
There you go. Oh, and I just shared one more thing I was going to share. We didn't really talk about like the viewership. So, with streaming, it gets kind of tough in terms of like how many people watch this. All right, so one metric we have, comicbook.com tells us Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi breaks Disney Plus viewership record. And I thought, that's cool. And then I thought, well, what's that mean? Because that's only Disney Plus. And then the Direct comes in and says, all right, if Disney is counting both of the debut episodes, then this statistic is far less impressive than it may first appear, because they're really only comparing it to the other Disney Plus originals that have premiered with more than one installment on the same day. That'd be WandaVision with 103 minutes and Hawkeye with 102. So I forget how long these episodes are.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about WandaVision is, one, it premiered during COVID, so what was everybody else going to do? But then you had the hurdle of like Disney Plus had just started, so probably not as many subscribers yet.
And then you have Hawkeye, the best Marvel Disney Plus show.
I've heard it claimed.
Right. There you go. In terms of what people are saying online, Rotten Tomatoes is hovering around 87%. That was a few days ago. 7.9 on IMDb. I haven't checked it since the last episode dropped. But hey, man, 1 through 3, Obi-Wan Kenobi, real round table here with the fellas. You can count on us to be back to talk about 4 through 6. Sounds like we can maybe sucker Dan P into coming back and joining us again. Dan, you did a great job on Star Wars. We're super lucky to have your expertise on the show today. Thank you for coming.
Happy to be here.
All right, let's talk about what's coming up. Well, Scotty, you said you liked them packed. You said you liked them long. We got another one here. Lots of nerd fest. Lots of talking. Lots of good thoughts. Did you have fun?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Always. I love the long episodes.
Well, looking at the coming up on the list, and even if it's not on there, what's on your horizon coming up that we can probably plan to feature on the show? If one of us is looking forward to it, you can look forward to it being featured. We got Lightyear coming up. We got Stranger Things season 4 happening right now. Miss Marvel drops like what? Friday. So again, by the time this comes out, you're going to have another Marvel show on the docket to watch.
They moved them to Friday releases for Marvel now?
Because it was the same day as Obi-Wan, right?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Obi-Wan is now Wednesdays, and now, Miss Marvel.
Yeah, because I heard they were on the same day. So are you saying...
It actually might be tomorrow.
I think it is tomorrow.
I think it is tomorrow. I think it's Wednesdays.
I thought, Miss Marvel comes out.
I think Disney Plus is...
I think I just shared something in the group.
I'll double check it while we're talking about it. We got Thor: Love and Thunder coming up.
Less than a month.
Talking about Star Wars, any word? What's the next Star Wars title? Dan, you know
Andor.
Yeah, it's going to be Andor. I'm super pumped for that.
And I mean, that's going to be like for you Rogue One fans, right?
Yeah, that's a pre-Rogue One.
Yeah.
Of course. Plan to get the plan.
Yeah.
Start the plan.
Like
Miss Marvel tomorrow.
Talk about a character in a show when it started that I was like, I want to know more about this guy. And now I'm actually going to get it. Like, I mean, he is in the thick of it in Rogue One, like right from the bat. So you're like, man, and this guy's a little jaded. He's seen some stuff. So excited for that.
What Star Wars title would you say you're most excited for?
The Rogue One movie, with the gal who directed. I think it's The Hurt Locker.
That's your favorite?
I'm sorry, not Rogue One. The was it Rogue Squadron movie? I think they're doing.
Okay,
what it's called with her. I can't think of her name right now. But she directed The Hurt Locker, and I like the Starship Battles. So if you're gonna make a movie about the pilots of
Star Wars Top Gun.
Yeah, that's exactly what it would be.
Yeah.
The trailer they showed was literally her on at a fighter base with like fighter jets, and apparently her dad was like a pilot. So, yeah. I mean, that's what I like, the space battles, and you don't get that in the TV shows, unfortunately.
What else are you into besides Star Wars that you get jazzed about?
DC stuff a lot. I mean, the new Batman.
Tomorrow is going to be your day. We get the Black Adam trailer.
Yep. Yeah, it's true.
Excited for that?
I mean, it's The Rock.
And
how can you not be?
So you love the Batman.
Yep.
You're excited for the Flash.
Yeah. Flash movie I think will be good.
Yep.
I
think we got like a Gotham Knights TV show that was just announced on the CW.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Look, I know you love Smallville and a lot of those shows. And
hey, don't bucket Smallville with all those shows.
Yeah, no,
it's a CW show.
I guess it did end on the CW.
Yeah, but
it's true.
It started on the WB.
They all start good for the most part.
Yeah.
Like the Flash.
The
the
Flash.
First couple seasons,
Oh,
the
yes.
Flash and
Season
Green
1.
Arrow.
Season 1, perfect.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh
yes.
yeah. It just
And-
evolves
Unwatchable now.
Yeah. Then
into case of the week kind
Yeah.
of stuff.
And
Yeah.
even worse than that, like
Yeah.
just like so dead, you know?
And
Like
there-
we're
I
picking the
see-
bottom
I
of the
see all
barrel
these
villains.
campaigns for like save Legends of Tomorrow, and I'm like, nah, let it. It's
Oh,
it's
no.
it's run its course. I'm sure.
Legends of just Legends.
Yeah.
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 Anything else on this board getting you pumped? What do you think?
Thor.
A lot of those are like so
Thor.
close.
Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah,
Heck
this
yeah.
Jurassic Park is this
heck
weekend.
yeah.
Jurassic Park is
I'm-
this weekend.
I'm going on Sunday.
Oh man.
Yes.
Well, you can count on it being on the show, whether it's a mini meet or a full meet. It's happening. Cannot wait.
Lightyear's coming in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep, gonna get the Buzz Lightyear story. Cannot wait.
It's just
I mean,
nice.
it's just too much. I mean,
Yeah, it's just nice after COVID to have all these things to look forward to.
Oh,
after,
yeah,
after
for
COVID,
sure.
what world are we in?
Yeah.
this is insanity. Someone's like, I mean, they have just they're just like pouring it onto all of us. Like,
Yeah.
you'll never have something not to watch.
Yeah.
It's
There was
every week.
a definite drought for a while when all we had was like Tiger King.
Yeah.
And that was it for like a
my
year.
God.
That was fine during COVID. All right, well, we can't wait to do it. You know where to find us. I mean, who knows, man? You join us on Patreon where you get episodes on Sunday with that
Do it.
early access.
Do it.
I mean, you heard it from Dan P here. I mean, look at you now. You're on the show.
Do it. Yeah.
Is that easy?
Yep.
Monday, you can get us everywhere else, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. We got video on Spotify. If you're not watching us, we got great screen share. You don't have to watch the whole episode. I also listen to the podcast, too, when I'm checking out our own show and I want to listen. But, man, being on Spotify and kind of having, like, duality is kind of nice where I'm listening to the pod. And then if I just pull up my phone, like, you can just see all of our mugs. And you can see the whatever we're sharing on the screen. We put a lot of work into the slides. Carrie Clark Design just bringing us a strong brand, and it's represented very well on our merch. Dan, I want you to pick out something at Mostly Superheroes
Yep,
/ mostlysuperheroes.com/merch. Pick out something. It's our treat.
No.
And yeah. Not only that, I'm gonna buy you something, and whatever you pick out, we'll give one away to a lucky fan as well.
Gotcha.
How about that?
You don't have to buy me one. Give 2 to the fans. I'll buy my own.
Wow,
Oh,
I want. Yeah.
he must have a good job.
I want people listening to this to consider, like, I mean, inflation on the rise, right?
yeah.
Don't
Don't worry, guys. Our Patreon
the
prices
Patreon
aren't going
price,
up.
Yeah. Inflation proof. Okay.
Yes.
So
we're gonna keep.
You
want to
make a
$1.
good investment right now?
Did you know
this is a great investment?
You can donate. Here's the cool thing about Patreon. You can donate as little as $1 a month, first of all.
Yeah.
And the second of all, first of all, if I don't ever need the money and like everything's happening, I won't charge you guys any money, and I'll just give you the free exclusive, just so you guys know who I am as a person. But for now, the money really helps. $1 a month is as little as you can do. You can also do like $1 one time.
Yeah.
And be like,
Just
I don't want to
just
do
show
it.
love. Show that you're there.
Yeah.
Because what's going to happen is you're going to sign up for Patreon. You're going to get in there. You're going to do that hit. Then you're going to, you know what? I spend $9 on a Starbucks these days because it's insane. It's not even a cup of coffee. It's $9 for that stuff. And this is $1 to give some good people a little bit of help to keep things going and frankly improve the show. Like I'm sitting here.
You get to be a part of it.
Yeah, you get to be a part of it. You can see, hopefully you all see as I did the improvement in kind of the quality of their capabilities, and
we're on version basically 2.5 of the
Yeah.
studio, man, and that's because of folks like you. So we appreciate you guys for buying merch. We do have some more music that we're going to bring into the show, giving away the vinyl. We got that contest happening. We're going to be doing more of that, bringing artists in, and we do have actually a meeting on the books with our friends and partners over at Wellspent Brewing Company just next week to plan out some more events rest of the year and beyond. So watch for all the updates at mostlysuperheroes.com and as well as all of our social media. Let's do some sign-offs right now. Scotty Scoop, tell the fans goodbye and where they can find you, if you want.
Yeah, you can find me anywhere.
Perfect. And how to go
Thanks,
today?
guys.
How was the show for you?
Oh, it was great.
How'd we do
I
on
love
Twitch? I know you were in the chat.
We didn't break anything. I didn't break anything. Nothing's
Dan
broken.
did. Dan did.
Nothing is broken.
I did.
That's awesome. Giggler, give us a sign-off.
You can find me in St. Louis.
And you gave your socials.
Oh yeah.
Ahun.
At Ahun6767 on all socials and gamertag.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah,
But-
Rabid Platypus.
Today,
Yeah.
Find me.
Yes.
Rabid Platypus. Scotty Scoop on Xbox.
yes.
Yeah.
This was an extra special day to have my friend Dan here as well.
Fan.
Always get to hang out with you guys. But
great
to bring it-
knowledge bombs from
Yes,
Dan.
I
over
know,
here.
man. I mean, honestly, you might be sitting in this chair, and I might be listening from home next week. So you did a great job. Good job,
Oh
buddy.
man, yeah, a real
brother.
natural, absolutely. And
It's
Dan, feel free to tell people where they can find you online and anything else.
I don't do too much. I got Instagram dpat_88. But like I have Twitter, but there's no point. I don't post anything. That'd probably be it. And really, what you're gonna get is just like pictures of me like hanging out doing stuff. So
just taking selfies of yourself watching
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
yeah, no, you'll get Andy and I at a wedding, or just stuff we do.
You guys were in a frat together.
Oh yeah.
That's why you were Danny Frat.
Oh yeah.
Yes, we were.
Oh, yeah.
So we're brothers, friends,
Fraternity.
all of the above.
Yep.
High school.
We've been through some
Yeah.
shit.
Some real life stuff.
So
Yeah.
And now you can add co-podcasters to
Yeah.
the list.
Oh, nice. I love that.
Well, Dan, we can't wait to have you back,
been a
man.
day.
Yeah, it's been a hell of a day, been a hell of a time, and we're just
thank
having a lot of fun. Yeah, absolutely.
Same.
Logan here, cannot wait until next time. We got a lot happening. Can't really tell you how much because you guys know it. We talk about coming up, and the titles are just overflowing.
Big summer.
Big summer. I mean, summer at the movies, man. I feel like we said that in 2020. We said it in 2021, and we're saying it again. So
Finally here.
finally here, really happening. So we appreciate you guys. Check us out at mostlysuperheroes.com. Tell a friend, write into the show, call us at 754-CALL-LOG, and we'll see you Sundays on Patreon and Mondays everywhere else. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.